Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. It has been a minute. Recently, I just posted a VoidRaids server trailer that should have been my last video at the time of recording. The server is releasing May 31st at 3 p.m. EST, so make sure you are on and ready to join and play some factions with us. Me and him have been working on this server, mainly him. He's been doing a lot of the back-end stuff, getting everything functional and for everybody to play and have fun, like old school factions, the factions that I used to play and enjoy a lot more than the factions that is nowadays. But nonetheless, let's get into what this video is mainly focused on and how you're going to really be cannoning on the server. So behind me, you have a simple 420 cannon, a 20 stacker. As you can see, I'm aiming at this stone wall right here. Since we are on 1.21, cannoning is a little different. I can't find the exact sizings. If I do find them, I will put them up on the screen. When editing, whenever I find the exact data, I will put it up on the screen for 1.8.9 TNT to 1.21 and or 1.12, I think, even, or 1.19 and above, at least. Might even be 1.18. I don't know. That's too complicated to get into at this point. All it really did was change the height at which the TNT explodes and the sand is affected by that TNT. So it makes making hammers a little bit difficult whenever it comes to like lean archer cannons, like the pretty simple 60 stackers as well. It forces TNT to shoot left and right a lot easier, and it doesn't really align all that well. But I can just show you how that kind of affects rating on this version now. So here you have a simple 420 cannon. We have a simple little 1x1 wall going up 20 to 26 blocks. We have the slab down there. So what we can do, we can make sure the sand is disabled. Yep, we're going to go ahead and shoot a shot really quick. Let me go through. I do have patch crumbs on, so we will be able to see that. Here we go. What the fuck? And there we go. As you can see, the slabs are completely gone, and we have the cannon ready to go for stacking sand. And this will be the first example of why cannoning on this version is a little bit harder than you. We're gonna go ahead and get this sand stacked up. So we drop the sand on the cobweb. We get ready to shoot. Press that fire button. Pushes out. Stacks beautifully. It looks like it's going to, but oh, it only stacked up one. Let's try it. Let's try shooting again, just in case. Fluke, maybe, you know. Stack 10U again. This is 420 cannon, so I can't stack all that much sand. But I know I'm not overfilling it. Press the button. Maybe it took a little long. Maybe we needed to wait just a second longer. Okay. And it still just isn't stacking. That would be solved by hammer, but as I said previously, hammers are kind of awkward on this version. So if you were to try to 420 stack, or even just sand stack like this, it would take something like 20 to 30 blocks, not 20, 30, 20 to 25 blocks just to be able to hybrid on this singular wall. Now, I am going to show you that hybriding is still possible. I'm just going to stack up by hand. And then let's go like this. That's not, sand's gonna be there first. Re-enable this. I will turn on scatter just because fun big boom, you know. Goes through, and you can still scatter and you can still hybrid. It just takes forever. Now, that could be pretty useful for when you're single stacking at the very bottom of the world at like Y negative 58, 56-ish. Because all the walls would be at the very bottom. You wouldn't have to stack all that much. But there is an even easier way to even go around this. If I just do /top here. As you can see, there's another cannon we have. We have a concrete cannon. Now, if you don't know how concrete cannons work, I will show you in a example right here. Let's just throw that stone away. Get this. I don't want to use auto yet. All right, let's break that. It works just like a regular cannon, except whenever you go over here, it just one-shots. No long amounts of sand stacks, no huge sand comps. It works in the sense that the concrete is launched and solidifies on the wall at the same exact time that the scatter explodes. So it basically hybrids itself. Now, I have a schematic of this, and I can show, and I can leave a download to it in the description below. But I can also just show you how to build it later on in its own video. I feel like it'd be pretty important just to know the timings of everything, seeing as it is a very weird thing. And me and Criminal took forever trying to get this working on a actually functioning. And it's pretty important to know what you should do when something happens and what not to do when something happens with a cannon. As you can see, some of this power isn't even powered up, but if it's not there, it just doesn't work. I don't know why. This booster, if it's not there, doesn't work. If it's gone, it works. If it's there, it doesn't work. Now, that is due to the TNT flying through the concrete, but you don't want to take that away for whenever you're shooting at further distances. Obviously, you can reduce the amount of power on this side, but the booster needs to be over here so the concrete can fly fast enough to get through the water at like a half tick, I think it is. So whenever it gets to the wall and it solidifies, it can still go through more walls later on. Whenever you're going through like a larger buffer of walls. So just to show you the pure amount of fun you can have with this cannon, I am going to show you the auto feature that this thing has. Just simple timer, you know, go through the wall, boom, instantly breaks. You can see exactly where it's breaking with this patch crumbs. It is breaking right on the outside of this wall. It's just solidifying and boom, hybriding each and every shot. Now, you can imagine going through a like 10 chunk buffer with this. This would be so easy as long as it's just pure straight walls like this. And as you can see, we're already at the base wall. Holy, I should go turn off this so I have less damage. Oh well. And we're already split. The reason why we're going to be disabling lava regions is because it would be pointless. TNT will explode lava and it's just going to get rid of it. Like on other servers you might have seen previously, I think Psycho used to do it. I think there was a couple more servers that used to do it, but Psycho was one of the prevalent ones that came to my mind whenever I thought of this. So we are stealing that page out of their book and saying, hey, that's a pretty good idea, especially with these harder rating mechanics with not being able to time things as well. Disabling that lava is just going to make it a lot easier on the player's end. It's going to make it a little bit more fun for the raiders, and it's going to make it a little bit more challenging for the patchers if you're trying to patch through that build. If they're raiding you, you're going to want to patch. And obviously, these cannons aren't the most advanced, so I'm sure there are more advanced tutorials out there. This one is just the most consistently well working, in my opinion. Me and Criminal tried multiple different concrete cannons to see what kind of repertoire we can build for the server to showcase to you guys, so you guys aren't just left in the mud basically when it comes to starting your factions on here and starting raiding on here, because it's pretty new. So with this cannon, this one is just the most consistent that we found. It works the greatest. As you can see, we just went through those walls in I don't know how many seconds. I'm sure I'll have a timer up on the wall on the screen. With these cannons working the way they do, regen walls just aren't viable as a sense of having fun. Obviously, you could have you can have regen walls going all up and down your base, and your base would be basically unraidable to concrete cannons, but you could still single stack. It's just kind of a tedious thing that we're having to nitpick. And obviously, these things can change. We are still 21 days out until server release at the time of recording. I think we have 21 days and nearly 7 hours Yes, 21 days, 7 hours, and 19 minutes left until we release on May 31st, 3 p.m. So there's still things that can be changed later on through our testing and anything we find. But for now, this concrete cannon is a beast. And with this concrete cannon, there is just no point in using this old, basically ancient technology from 1.7.10 to 1.8.9, where you have to stack, and it kind of ruined the entity alignment with the sand and TNT to where it's a lot harder to even simply stack sand. But with that said, that is it for this video. I am glad to be back. Me and Criminal have been working very hard to get this, well, mainly Criminal has been working very hard to get this server up and going for you guys. I am super excited. I've just been testing stuff non-stop for the past, what feels like, month. And it is purely driven out of joy to want to do this. But yeah, if you guys want to get that schematic, now I'm going to go on a big stretch here, and hopefully you guys are as excited as we are. But if we can get 5 likes on this video, I will be leaving that link to this absolutely monster of a super easy early game cannon that melts through these walls. I haven't done a quite extensive range test on how far it shoots, but from what we know, we can drill through this entire base, basically, test base even, and it's a good 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm sure we can go even further. But yeah, if we can get at least 5 likes on this video, I will be putting that link to this schematic in the description below. But that is it. Make sure you guys have play.voidraids.com in your servers list, and you are ready to go on that May 31st. We might even be able to pump it out a little earlier if we get testing done a little bit sooner than we think, but as of now, May 31st, 3 p.m. EST. Make sure you guys are on for SOTW. Anyways,